So there's going to be two different categories we're going to be focused in on. We're going to be talking about the beat maker and the singer-songwriter. Hey creatives, how you guys doing? Thanks for watching the video. If you find anything of value on this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Leave a comment below. I would love to connect with you. Today, we're talking about keeping it simple with a minimal setup. So maybe you have a small bedroom, maybe you have a small room that you're not utilizing. Maybe your office isn't Panera Bread, right? Maybe your office is in the park. Today, I want to share with you all the things that I've learned along the way as it concerns a minimal setup. How you guys doing? My name is Tucker. So there's going to be two different categories we're going to be focused in on. We're going to be talking about the beat maker and the singer-songwriter. And I have been through all of those setups. And I want to give you information that would have been helpful to me in that process. Today, I want to show you a few setups that will not break the bank. Now, as we said in the intro, there are a couple different ways to look at building your studio so you don't break the bank. So let me show you my very first studio. That's it. That's my very first studio. That is the Roland VS880 is an 8-track digital multi-track recorder. And that's sat in my little 2-bedroom apartment in my front room. I think I had a mic and a little cheap Casio keyboard and maybe a little cheap guitar. I don't even remember. It was that long ago. But on that digital setup, on that little 8-track recorder, recorded my first CD. And we finished that CD in about a year. And the cool thing about that CD is I had a whole bunch of other producers on it. I was mainly the singer on it. But the song that people loved the most, and I'll play it here for you, it's called My Window Pane. And My Window Pane was just an acoustic guitar, a vocal, and a cajon. And we're going to talk about why people latched on that song in another video. But I want to share with you, I produced a whole album off of that little portable studio. So the thing about being minimal and having a portable studio is that you don't need all this gear, all this space to create some great sounding records, especially if you're just stepping into being a producer or a songwriter. You just want to get your ideas down. So let me share with you the several things that you're going to need to get you started. All right, so first things first. Let's talk about the heart of the studio. These are all essential things that you're going to need. The first is, boom, a trusty computer or a trusty laptop. This is the heart of everything you're doing. Now, whether you're Team Mac or Team Windows, it doesn't really matter. What's important is that you choose a machine that has a good processor, enough RAM, and sufficient hard drive space that fits your budget. Bling, bling. Now, before we had Macs, before I was a Mac guy, I built my first PC to record audio. Matter of fact, that digital Roland station, back in the day, I used to hook up to a PC, and this actually came with Logic, if you can believe that. It was Logic before it was an Apple product. So it was really cool. Boy, bah. All right, first things first, get you a really decent laptop. Number 2, express yourself. Y'all don't remember this song. Express yourself. I can't remember who sang that song. If you know the name of that song, man, leave it in the comment. But it was like a 90s hip hop. Express yourself. I'm sure somebody will know it. All right, number 2. This is great because I
Have you ever had a dream that you had?
I travel with this keyboard. This is a Akai MPK Mini, and it's got drum pads and of course keys here. But get yourself a moderately priced digital keyboard, one where you can drum and play piano. I think this was like $100, right? So Very, very important. This will help you produce melodies and harmonies and rhythm tracks. And so you want to be able to use your fingers and it be tactile. Number 3, the DAW, digital audio workstation. Now, people get caught up in, hey, should I use Logic? Should I use Ableton? Should I use Fruity Loops? I would say find one that you're comfortable with and that you are really excited about learning about. A lot of times beat makers use Ableton and Fruity Loops. Songwriters a lot of times will use Logic. Now, these aren't hard and fast rules. These are just ideas for you. I love Logic. I love the simplicity of it. I love the linear function of Logic. For how I produce, it makes sense for me. Now, you're going to spend 100% of your time in that DAW. So it's going to be important that you spend the time to really learn and get comfortable with that DAW. Find out, what your favorite producers are using and how they're making their sounds, and maybe grab some tips from them. All right, capturing the sound. Now, everything up to this point has been for beat makers. This is more for the singer-songwriter. Next up is a audio interface. This connects instruments and mics and all kind of things to your computer, a synthesizer, bass guitars, you name it. This is how you get sound into your computer. So what this does, it takes an analog sound and turns it into digital sound so your DAW can read it. You can also hook up a condenser mic to this as well. All right, next up is the condenser mic. This is actually my very first mic I ever purchased. It's a Marshall, and my early records were all using this mic, and I loved how it sounded. Matter of fact, I love how condenser mics sound so much that I started using condenser mics on the actual stage probably 10 years ago and haven't looked back. So there's condenser mics and there's dynamic mics and a whole bunch of other kind of mics. But this is a condenser mic, so when you're recording vocals, or maybe you're recording an acoustic part, or maybe you're gonna record an electric amp, this mic is a condenser mic is the mic you want it for. Again, you don't have to break the bank for all these things. Last but not least are headphones. These are probably my favorite. I have some Tascams in the studio and some other ones. But the cool thing about these Audio Technicas over the ear is these have a great bass response. And so when you're producing, let's say, lo-fi or R&B records or hip-hop records, you need to be able to really hear what is happening in the bass frequency ranges, in the mid-range as well. So get yourself a nice set of headphones so you can be at peace as you're mixing. All right, so that is the complete minimal setup that you need to get started. Moderately priced. Let's say you could get a used MacBook, let's say for $1,000, MIDI keyboard $100, audio interface. Let's say you just want to spend $100 on that. Headphones, let's call that another $100. We're talking $1,400, $1,500, maybe with some cables as miscellaneous. $1,500 to really get you started. So that's a really inexpensive way to get your studio up and running. There you have it, a minimal setup to get you started producing beats and writing songs. It doesn't have to be fancy, it just has to be yours. Bro. So build it piece by piece. And so if you're looking for any of the gear that I mentioned below, some of it's probably not even for sale anymore, but I will have links in the description of the things that are available. Side note, I do love a good refurbed Mac. There's plenty of sites you can get them on. You can get them certified as well. You can really get a cost savings when it comes to purchasing a computer. All right, peace and love. I'm out.